Okay, so today we are going to be reacting to season 2 of Maxton Hall. I have seen a lot of people request this from me, which makes sense. I did watch it when it first came out, season 1, and liked it. It's been a while since I had watched it though, so I just recently kind of went back through it, refamiliarized myself with where we left off, what's going on, so I might not be perfect, but I think I'm pretty caught up and remember, where we are, what's happening in these circumstances. As we enter season 2. I'm obviously decked out in this hot pink because this is kind of their school uniform, which is kind of crazy. Hot pink school uniform. Love to see it. Obviously they're at Oxford now, so I guess they don't have uniforms anymore, but they're still wearing them in the promotional material, so I say it counts. I like this series a lot. I mean, what isn't there to like? You know what I mean? Like, it is that type of thing that I would like, for sure. We love a romance. I think they have good chemistry. We love a class difference, we love an enemies to lovers, we love all the tropes. So yeah, I'm excited. Let's just get into it. Great, there's an ad. Well, while this is going, I mean, James's sister is pregnant, their mom just died, Ruby's doing good, Ruby's living her best life, and James is spiraling. So, we'll see what that, I mean, I don't anticipate their relationship lasting in this season. I expect it being pretty rocky. He was crazy at the beginning. He really was. No reason on God's green earth why he should antagonize her that way, but I mean, I loved the Victorian, hello. So me, if I was writing something modern, I would find a way to weave in that type of vibe. Yeah, his dad's terrible. I kind of want that guy to be gone, the teacher. Quite simply, my frontal lobe is too developed at this point for me to even indulge any of that for a second. I mean, well, yes. What a way to open. The lighting is great. Look at those bags. Look at those bags. Like, what? But, I mean, they both have beautiful backs. What can I say? I think in you. Okay, with you. That's better. Oh my god! Cheeks out! Double cheeked up on a... whatever day it is today. Friday. Oh. Well, yes. Okay. Thank you, Prime, for doing what needs to be done. Give the people what they want. Damn. That's crazy. They took a picture... They're crazy for that. Okay. Great, there's a car crash. Okay, of course. So beautiful. I want to be in a castle. Well. Okay, sending voice memos to each other, as you should. That's the way to do it, people.
Die Ruby, die ich kenne, würde jetzt sagen, alles was zählt, ist der Abschluss, bloß nicht den Fokus verlieren. Stimmt, aber wer sagt, dass ich meinen Fokus nicht erweitern darf?
So true. Ugh, this guy.
Nicht ohne seine Tigerin?
Yeah, as he should. You wanna say something about that? Didn't think so.
Eine Lady genießt und schweigt.
Oh! This... Damn. Oh, they probably will have a plot with them, then. If he's still pining after her. James is gonna do something fucked up, and then... yeah, maybe this will happen. Ugh, this guy too.
Das Gala-Dinner der Campbell-Stiftung statt, bei dem Spenden zum Wohl von Kindern und Jugendlichen mit psychischen Problemen gesammelt werden.
Yes, exactly.
Dass sie sich für die Organisation bewerben werden. Karte für sie.
Is this what she wants to do for a living? Would kind of love that.
Schaffen Sie
You don't see that represented much, I feel like.
Bis wann muss denn die Bewerbung fertig sein?
Müsste unten stehen.
2 days from now.
Das ist ja schon
Yeah.
übermorgen.
Literally. It always is like that. This man needs to be out of a job, okay? He needs to probably be behind bars.
Weißt du, wo James ist? Ich kann ihn nicht erreichen.
Ich habe seit Oxford nichts von ihm gehört.
Oh, okay. I'm so dumb. Yes, of course. This is right after... yeah. Okay, so they're not here because their mom just died, of course. And no one's seen them or heard from them. Ooh. That is so bad, because she was really, the only bright spot. She was the only thing that was even somewhat remotely good about that living situation. Love her family, they're great.
Ich würde mir nur für dich wünschen, dass du zwischendrin mal die Beine hochlegst und dir vielleicht bei einer Massage entspannt Gedanken über den Weltfrieden machst.
You gotta do both. But see, easier said than done, because I still can't do it.
Das werte ich als ein Ja.
Das war kein Ja.
She's, oh god. She's about to be so disillusioned. She's like ready to go, like, make out, have a fun time.
Ist James hier?
Oh, yikes.
Was ist passiert? Ich habe ihn den ganzen Tag versucht zu erreichen.
He's AWOL. Okay.
Hallo?
I mean, of course he is. This is what he was doing at the beginning of the season. It makes sense. He was a party boy. He was, you know, he's probably out drinking,
Okay, ich komm.
that sort of thing, trying to numb the pain, which will never work, of course, but
Lydia, was ist los?
it will not stop people from trying, unfortunately.
Dann komme ich mit.
Mm.
Ich glaube, das ist keine gute
This is
Idee.
rough too, because you have to work on your project! Yeah, she knows it's not. Yikes. So, does anybody know?
Well, no.
I love this look on her. She's so elegant. So it seems like they haven't told anybody. Yikes. And so, like, confusing and heartbreaking to her. He's so ripped. Oh my god. Oh my... Jeez. Again, lighting is great. Ooh. And the world goes quiet.
Den ganzen Tag Sorgen gemacht. Was ist los?
Du gehörst hier nicht hin.
Ooh. Ooh.
Wasser ist ja nicht so heiß.
What? Did she just say that? Oh, Ruby's... Oh!
The woman was too stunned to speak.
Well... Okay. So that went south very quickly. In front of her, too! Right before she said water isn't really your thing! Oh, God. And is that the same pool that he, like, saved her from? Oh my god. Me too. I would be hyperventilating. Fully. And no one's even told her what's happened. So it seems like he's just, like, gone back to his old ways yet again. And, like, tricked her again. And is just, you know, waffling back and forth. Yeah, you can't be walking alone at night in the middle of nowhere, basically. Although, I don't know, this girl could... I'm like suspicious of everything now. No, it's really not. Oh.
Aber da die Deadline schon morgen ist, dachte ich, was hältst du davon, wenn wir uns heute nach dem Test treffen? Ich bin für dich da, okay?
Yeah, you gotta... Yeah. That would be... Oh my god. But you gotta lock in. Gotta prioritize yourself at this point. Even though, again, easier said than done. Oh, well. Don't worry, he'll do another one, but I get it. Right in the can. Yeah, and he can, like, barely remember it, probably.
Minuten Geduld bitten.
Machen Sie das. Danke, Julia.
Affair, perhaps? Yeah. Look at them, though. They look so perfect together. They really do. They're one of those couples that when you just see them together, it's like, oh, so they're meant for each other. Just look at them.
Nein!
Nigh. Nigh means nigh. It's bringing me back to scam days. Anybody? Scam fans?
So zeigst du dich niemandem.
Okay, so maybe this is like the press conference announcing her death then. She looks fab. As always. Lydia, I mean, I mean, I get it, but you're...
James.
It feels like maybe it's a little harsh to your brother, I don't know. Thank God there's someone that is approaching it with care. I wonder if finding out that it's, like, because of his mom dying will be enough for Ruby to kind of just overlook it and forgive it. What's he looking for? Oh, okay, drugs. Drugs. Of course. Well, what else would he be looking? Me and my innocent mind, I'm like, what what does he need to find with such urgency? Oh, self-medication. Okay.
Ich brauch dich, James. Hör auf damit, du machst alles kaputt.
You need each other.
Uns, wir haben Dad.
Yeah, Dad's,
Liebt uns und
that's,
braucht uns jetzt,
does, he needs you, maybe, but,
Solange wir funktionieren, wie er will.
yeah.
Er weiß doch gar nicht, was Liebe bedeutet.
Oh, okay. 2 minutes and 37 seconds of ads. Great. Yeah, I mean, it's really bad. It's bad. Things are not looking so good. I just wonder how she's gonna react, and it's so ironic because it's like this is the moment that he needs her the most, obviously, and he sabotages it instead and pushes her away. And from her point of view, like when she finds out about it, I'm sure there will be a part of her that will be like, I want to comfort him, like I want to be there for him, but can I? Honestly, though, she was so almost unrealistically so, like very self-sacrificial and just generous and forgiving. And even though she did like stand up for herself, I'm not saying she was allowing herself to be a doormat at all. Like she definitely stood her ground and she's very headstrong in that way. But she was very kind also in a lot of ways and very forgiving in a lot of ways. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's the type of thing where she just is like, well, if we can move past it, let's just do that. But I wouldn't blame her if not, either. I wouldn't blame her either way. I wonder what that would be like in real life, kind of. I'm trying to imagine myself in that situation. Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's just confusing because I think it's like he was so obsessed with her. If he hadn't been with her the way that he was, then I might have a different opinion of like if forgiving him is even the thing to do, or like getting back together is even the thing to do. But then again, there's so much insecurity in their relationship from like the way that it started and how many kind of like facades were being put up at the beginning. So she might think, oh, that's all just a lie. He really is a playboy and never really loved me and he was acting and this is his true self, something like that. She needs to work on her thing. Don't throw that away.
Als hätte ich einen Truck überfahren.
Well, kind of, sort of. May as well have been.
Weißt du schon.
No, actually, she doesn't, ironically.
Wie geht's, James?
She said, how's James?
Cordelia Beaufort ist tot. Was?
No, but this isn't good because Dad shouldn't know that they're together now. Ooh, joints. Yeah, well, no, I didn't get now. Aw. I like their relationship too, because it started out and it's actually gone through a lot of changes too. You know, big arc. You low-key should have told her yesterday though. I mean, I get they're trying to keep it a secret, but is Ruby really gonna go to the press? He's somewhere else. He, like, can't even hear her. I'm glad she came. I'm glad she's here. Lighting again is so good, I have to say. Just, I mean, desperate. You're having a breakdown. Yeah, it's called grief. That is, yeah, that's grief. In some ways. Depression, probably also. Grief-induced depression. Oh. Yeah, that's right. It was a bad interaction. That's really, really rough. Ugh. I hate when that happens. I just feel so... Because I can just imagine... I think it would ruin my life. You know what I mean? Like, if I had a bad interaction with someone, especially a family member, especially like a parent, and that was the last conversation we had before they died, like, I would actually probably lose my mind. You know, like, I just... Oof. Okay, acting from both of them, period. Getting into it. It's so intense. It's a lot to take on. Also, like... Ugh. Oh, it was kind of like she had forgotten about it, sort of.
Ich muss.
Es tut mir leid, okay? Es tut mir leid. Du darfst nicht gehen. Ich brauche dich.
Du brauchst Hilfe, James.
Yeah. You're actually so correct. You're so right for that. And it like sounds terrible and it feels terrible for both of them, but it's correct. He does need help. He needs professional help that she cannot.
Dann hau ab.
Okay, James, of course. That she can't offer to him.
Hau ab! Hau ab! Los, verschwinde! Hau ab!
Yikes! Oof. This is so bad. Oh, well. This motherfucker, I swear to God. What's he doing?
Hey. Ruhig.
Is Dad actually caring? What? Maybe? Ugh. It's so hard though, because it's like so much. There's so much anger to him too. But like, what else are you supposed to do? You need your parents, especially at times like this. It's such a like cruel paradox.
Wir stehen das zusammen durch.
But I don't like the. I don't like that either. Because when he was acting like you, well, we know what that looked like. So if he gets under your wing and y'all are closer than ever, okay, Ad. Yikes! It's really bad. I mean, it's just terrible. Like, what am I supposed to say? I feel terrible for every single person involved. But Ruby is correct, and she's very smart. She's very emotionally intelligent. She's very mature. She recognizes that he needs help that she will not be able to give him. She can only give him so much. And that's true, because I was actually thinking when they were like that, I was like, this is lovely and romantic and great and whatever, but like, it gets to a point where like, she cannot be all that he's relying on. That is not healthy for either of them. He needs help outside of her. He needs people outside of her. She can't take the burden on of being like responsible for his well-being entirely, and his basically like him hovering between, I mean, practical life and death. That's way too much to put on her, for it to be on her. Like, she has her own things, and I think maybe her trauma with her dad and having experienced, you know, kind of more serious things like that at a younger age, she can see that more clearly. And then, of course, also you factor in that she's hurt too, and she's like, well, I can't, I'm mad at you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm hurt by you. Like, what am but I don't want to make you feel any worse about yourself right now. Like, I'm not gonna, you know, yell at you and tell you that you're a piece of shit, but like, I can't be here. I can't do this. I can't, you know, in a way it feels like abandoning herself in favor of him. In some ways, you know, death is such a traumatic thing, especially the death of a parent. It kind of trumps all, and I think that's what you saw at the beginning with them, is that she kind of even forgot about all that stuff. Like, nothing else mattered, right? And it kind of puts things into perspective and sets your priorities straight in a way. But yeah, I mean, he and then when she, you know, she's looking around at all the pills and the, you know, alcohol, and she can tell, piecing that together with the night before, like, he's participating in self-destructive behavior automatically. That's his go-to. Instead of coming to her in the first place for help, then he went and, you know, made out with a random girl and, you know, did drugs and was drunk and partied. You know, it's rough. And she needs to do her presentation or whatever. I mean, I'm sure she could get other jobs and it would be fine, but like, seemed like a perfect opportunity.
Du hattest ein Leben vor James Beaufort und wirst auch eins nach James Beaufort haben.
That's true.
Und wenn du Ablenkung, Schokolade oder doch Hilfe beim Konzept brauchst, dann sag einfach Bescheid, okay?
Good friend. Worried about James.
Kraftvoll erweisen sich seine Flügel. Sie tragen ihn überall hin. Ohne loszulassen und darauf zu vertrauen, dass das Leben es gut mit uns meint, ist die Herausforderung.
Is he mad at her for crying at her mother's funeral? Who's this? Am I supposed to know who this is? This is like her sister, or is this a character we've seen before? I can't remember.
Von Cordelia in Ehren zu halten.
Or was it supposed to be Cordelia? I don't know who that was! I don't know if that's a vision or a specter, a real person. I'm too good. I'm too good. Ophelia and Cordelia is crazy. There's some history here.
Mortimer, du hast dich ja überhaupt nicht verändert. Mir wurde der Kontakt mit euch verweigert.
Weil du ein Parasit bist. Den außer Geld nichts interessiert. Kein Wunder, dass du ausgerechnet jetzt auf.
Okay. Well, it seems like you think that about everybody, so.
Ich würde euch so gern mehr über eure Mutter erzählen.
Okay, es reicht.
Okay. Have some decorum. Not only are you in public, you're at a funeral. Like, get it together. You can't be manhandling people at a fucking funeral of your wife. Manhandling her sister. What? Okay. Anyway. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. This will be one subplot. He's... Oh, you're evil, dude. You're so evil. Oh, wow. That's such a crazy thing to say, period. Infinitely crazier to say at her funeral after she's just died, like, knowing. Like, he knows what he's doing. Oh, is this the car crash, then? Is he trying to hurt himself? Yeah, I have been there. You need a therapist, baby. I'm so sorry, James. You need a mental health professional. Don't tell me he's about to fucking kill her. Accidentally.
Du nach deinem Kopf oder deinem Gefühl handelst.
Yeah, maybe.
Der Moment, der die Macht hat, dich vom Weg abzubringen.
Ugh. Well, okay, so happy season 2. Welcome back to the world of Maxton Hall. It's not really giving the world of Maxton Hall though. It's definitely a lot darker. Yeah, what am I even supposed to say about that? I mean, it's terrible. It's awful. I'm worried for everybody. Although him standing up to his dad just then gives me hope for him, because I was really worried that his dad was just gonna, take advantage of his emotional state and, like, re-manipulate him back into being his right-hand man and his mini-me and acting exactly like him and treating everybody like shit and being an absolute asshole. But it doesn't seem like that is the case, because I was also thinking, I was like, the thing is, he can't just be a good person for Ruby. You know what I mean? He can't only want to be a good person for Ruby, and he can't only be a good person when he has Ruby. Like, that's not good. That's not healthy. That's not true growth for either of them. It's not fair to either of them. So he needs to have the will to do that, even if he's never going to get Ruby back. You know what I mean? Like, he still needs to stay a good person, or a better person, and not, kind of go back to his old ways. But it seems like him standing up to his dad, he kind of is seeing things more clearly when he's not having an actual literal breakdown and his dad is comforting him. Like, it's so hard to resist that. I mean, I can't blame him for that. Like, it's his dad and he just lost his mom. Like, he really needs his dad. And it's funny because it's like he needs his dad, but he doesn't need his dad. You know what I mean? Actually, his dad is the last thing he needs, but he needs his dad. And you see that, and it's so hard when you have complicated or abusive relationships with parents. Because if you're having an issue with one, if you're sad about them, if you're grieving them, if something happens with them, you turn to the other one, and then that relationship can still be so fractured and frayed that is traumatic in and of itself. to be comforted by them. It's so terrible. But I just thought he was maybe going to be, the way that his dad was talking, like, we'll be a family again and, you know, whatever. I just was like, oh, okay, so that's the road we're going down. But it seems like if he had to come to Jesus at the funeral and was like, so you've been keeping her from us and now you're doing this, he seems to see more clearly kind of and be reminded. He's like, oh yeah, that's right. That's who you are. That's what you do. You don't care about family. This is not real. And that's true. So I'm interested to see whatever the plot is with the sister, like why she was sent away, not allowed to see them. And they need her now. Like, it's, you know, I'm sure they would love to hear more about their mom. And also just another family member. Like, they're so isolated. And again, it's interesting because it's like, that's, you know, an abuse tactic, whether intentional or unintentional. It's like, that family is so isolated. So, like, having one of them leave is now like, oh, you really don't have anybody. Like, they barely have anybody to rely on. So they need more people. For Ruby and James, I mean, I can't blame either of them. I really can't. I think a lot of people are probably going to be hard on Ruby about leaving James and be like, why'd you leave him? He really needed you, and you could have just been there for him in that moment, and that's selfish, and that sort of thing. And sure, I can see that. But I agree with her. And it's funny because when I was looking at them, like, you know, huddled on the floor together, again, there is a part of it that's very sweet, that's very romantic. It's like, this is what life is about, like helping each other through and holding, you know, someone's hand and, you know, loving someone, and that gets you through bad times and that sort of thing. Like, there is something that is healthy and good and lovely about that. But what was there, I was just watching it and I was thinking in my head, I was like, this is a recipe for disaster. This is a recipe for, you know, an intense, like, trauma bond. You know, him putting way too much on Ruby's shoulders, her feeling too responsible for too many things. Like, it's just not gonna set up a healthy dynamic for either of them, especially because of how James is. And that's not his fault either. Like, his, coming from his household and his family and his abusive situation, like, he has issues. He has issues, that were there before Ruby, that are gonna be there after Ruby, if he doesn't deal with them. And it's, you can't rely on someone that much. You can't be putting your well-being, your survival on somebody else's shoulders, essentially. You need to be able to do that yourself, and you need to have professional help. Like, that's what it is, in addition to then having a spouse, like, help you. Like, that's what it needs to be, and he doesn't have 2 out of 3 that you really need in the equation for this to be a healthy dynamic. And I don't know, maybe it's my years of therapy, extensive therapy, or my psychology better talking, but I just was looking at that and I was like, this is not gonna be good for the future. Like, so I'm actually really glad that she, in that moment, like, realized that. And I do think part of it is also her realizing, I'm mad at you. I don't want to take that out on you when you're already suffering so much. I need to leave. I need to get out of here, because otherwise I'm going to yell at you and I'm going to, you know, show you how much you've hurt me. And I think in some ways she knows that she's kind of the only way that he sees himself as a good person, or the only way that he sees a future possibility for him to be a better person and to grow and change and help others. And so if she takes that away from him in that moment, like, that is really devastating, in the way of, like, her being like, you're a bad person and you hurt me. You know, I don't know if that makes any sense what I'm saying, or like how I'm saying it, but I just mean that I think she does know in a way that she means a lot to him, if for nothing else than just, you know, escaping his parents, or kind of having more individuality, or, you know, learning tolerance and empathy a little bit more. So if you kind of take that down, then he's really not going to be in a good place. And he already is in a horrible place. He's in a horrible place, not just because he lost his mom, but then he's, like, questioning if he even liked her. They had that the last conversation was bad. And I mean, that guts me every time I see that in media or hear about that in real life. I just truly, that is, like, one of the worst things I could imagine happening. Well, I can imagine a lot of really terrible things happening, but I just, things that I haven't been through. Of the horrible things that I haven't yet been through, that is one of them that I do think of where I'm like, I truly, that is, the guilt of that, the shame of that, like, the regret is just, like, suffocating. So yeah, he has a lot of issues. He has a lot of things going on. And Ruby's really, not in a place to help him in the way that he needs to be helped. She can only do so much, and it's already clear that he's, like, literally relying on her for everything, and he will be. Even more so. Like, as time goes on, it'll probably get worse and worse. So I think she's actually really smart to say, actually, this isn't, you need help. And I think a lot of people are going to take that the wrong way, and, you know, but she's correct. She's absolutely 100% correct. He needs help. He needs a professional therapist. He probably needs some medication. He needs to get away from his family, which is hard to do because he's still, 18? And also they have their whole empire and whatever. Like, he's in a very bad situation, and Ruby's really his only light, so I understand him, like, wanting that and needing that. He does need her, but that's not good. You can't need someone that badly. And, you know, she has her own things that she has to do. She can't drop everything, and already we saw her doing that. Like, she was going to just completely forget about that assignment for the, like, organizing the party. She wasn't gonna do it. She was gonna stay there with James the entire time, like, you know, just playing with his hair and letting him sob in her lap, which, again, is good and is admirable and is what you should do as, like, a spouse or even a friend, like someone close. When someone's going through a loss, you should support them that way. I'm not saying that that is bad, or that leaning on a friend or a spouse or other family in such a time of grief like James is wrong, because you need to, but you need other help. And he's really not situated to do that. And, you know, again, as you see, like, just a second later, then he's, like, yelling at her, like, screaming. And again, I understand why, but it proves her point. It's, like, confirmation that she's doing the right thing. Because if it's this wishy-washy, if you can go back that quickly to, like, just being kind of awful and you're so volatile and you have these emotions that you can't control and that you don't know, he's not equipped with the tools to deal with the emotions and the trauma that he has. And having a great girlfriend isn't going to solve that. It may seem like it does in some ways, but it's not going to in the long run. So I actually think they're setting themselves up for a much healthier relationship, a much better relationship. He needs to grow and learn independently of her, because again, I mean, his arc in season 1 kind of was like, wait, I like you, let me be a better person, that sort of thing, which again, in fiction, we love, of course. It's like, you know, I'll only change for you, like, you're so special, but it's like, well, we need you to, like, keep that energy up, even if she's not in the picture. And so I think that's probably what they'll have to do. And I think it's hard for her too, because she does want to help him. But I think she just sees that she can't. And that it won't be good for either of them in the long run. And that's heartbreaking too, because I can imagine, like, loving someone so much and wanting to be there for them, but knowing this is maybe going to destroy me. And that's a really difficult choice to make. And ultimately, I think it's better to make the choice of yourself. If helping someone else is going to destroy you, like, you need to just prioritize yourself then. You know what I mean? Because it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't cost you everything. It shouldn't cost you your life and your sanity and your well-being and your health to help someone else. And if it does, then you need to prioritize yourself. And I think that's what she did. And I think she's very smart and insightful and mature for that. But at the same time, I mean, she loves him. She does want to be there for him. She's heartbroken for him. She's also mad at him. And the whole, you know, cheating thing, it's like, what is there to even say about that? That's so complicated in so many different ways. Because he's, you know, under the influence, he's very drunk, he's very high on something, obviously. You know, his mom just died, right? Like, it kind of seems like, well, whatever you're doing right after that, I don't, you know. But then again, there's a lot of people whose parents die and they don't cheat on their spouses. And they don't do drugs. And they don't go to alcohol. And they don't numb that way. You know, there's a broad spectrum of kind of reactions that you can have to that sort of thing and actions that you can take in the aftermath of that, and not all of them are destructive. There are other paths. But again, with his life, the life that he's lived and having been abused and just the situation that he's in, it makes total sense that he's choosing that. But he didn't have to, right? So there's that where it's like, how much can I even fault you for it? I don't know. And I think she doesn't really even know. But I think there's also still insecurities from their relationship and from him flip-flopping back and forth and then kind of humiliating her publicly, like he's done a few times now at this point. That it was reminiscent of that as well. And of course was like in the water. I think it was the same pool maybe that he saved her from. That girl was saying, you know, you don't like water or whatever. Like, that's crazy. That is so crazy. It's like, how much could I take? You know what I mean? Like, that's nuts. But then at the same time, it's like, oh, his mom just died. So it's really like, I go back and forth on both of them, on both of those perspectives, because I can't imagine being in either of their positions. It's so difficult. And I don't think there's really a right or wrong as far as like how to feel about it. Like, if she were to just forgive him and forget about it completely, I don't think that's wrong. If she is still upset about that, and even if she were to like break up with him, which I don't know that is a breakup, so to speak. It's kind of a like, take a pause. You need some help. Like, I don't even know what to do with this right now, more than a breakup in my eyes. Or if she was just to dump him and say, you know, I hate you and you're the worst and you're never gonna see me again or something like that. Like, I wouldn't really totally blame her for that either. But I'm worried about him. He's in a bad way. He seems suicidal or self-destructive at the very least. He's driving that car that way. That might be another thing that helps them kind of get back together, where she's worried about. I don't know though, but I'm kind of like, actually, both of you need to heal a little bit on your own and like focus on your own things for a while, and then you can get back together. But it's really bad. It's really terrible. I mean, both of them are in such terrible spots, and I hate it. But they do have deep love for each other, and you can really tell that, you know. And I think also the acting was really good in this, like the grief from both of the, like the sadness, just the numbness. Both of their like breakdowns were really good, like very believable. So kind of killing it on that front. But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just have to see how the rest of it unfolds. I'm sure they'll get back together at some point during the season, right? Unless they do a whole season apart where they're like healing, and then they come back together at the very end, or next season, or next book, or what. I haven't read the book, so I don't know. But yeah, it's just really, really, really unfortunate, and I feel for both of them big time. It's a horrible position for both of them to be in. Oh my god, and like Lydia's was pregnant still with that guy's fucking baby. We didn't even touch on that. I didn't even think about that, but that's terrible. We got a new aunt coming in. The dad's still the worst. Like, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. The only ray of light, obviously, is Ruby getting this opportunity and taking it and doing it, which I'm proud of her for, and I think that was the right choice. Because again, as much as they do love each other, and they might end up together, right? They might be soulmates. They might be great loves of each other's lives. They might get married. That might be, you know, future husband, future wife. But even then, I just think you're never gonna lose out by prioritizing yourself in the end. Because it should be, in a healthy relationship, it should be that you prioritizing yourself ends up prioritizing the other and the relationship. You know what I mean? When oftentimes if you prioritize the other person or the relationship above yourself, it doesn't end up being healthy for anybody. So yeah, I think that's the smart thing to do. It's like, as heartbroken as you are and as terrible as this is, like, don't let that be the thing that like ruins your future, or, you know, takes away your greatest gift and opportunity of this thing that you have been wanting to do. That's, you know, don't let a man take that away. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, girl, secure yourself. we need to get ourselves secured, and I'm so glad that she did that, and I'm glad to see that. But it's heartbreaking and terrible, and I just hope that he can get better, because he does need help. He does. I mean, people are going to be mad at her for saying that, but she's 100% correct. So, we'll see what happens for the rest of the season. Let me know what you thought of this episode, of this reaction down below, and I will see you for another video soon.